It is health that is the real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver. Mahatma Gandhi. What's going on, family? It's your girl Rainey from Blessings and Gems. And today I'm going to be sharing with you my journey, my continued journey on Semaglutide 0.25, week 3, and the things that you should be focused on in week 3. And all of it's going to be about what's been happening for me in week 3 and some considerations that are food for thought for you. Before I jump in, I want to say two things. Number one, I know a lot of times when I'm watching YouTube videos, I'm cooking in the kitchen, or I'm running around, or I'm jogging. I'm not jogging. I'm walking. I'm busy. I'm not necessarily in front of the screen. I want to urge you that throughout weeks 1 and 2 and today, that you either listen to it while you're walking or in your car or whatever you're doing, and then go back and play it so that you can see the photos. I'm sharing a lot of photos and screenshots and micro videos within my main videos to help you. Number 2, I also want to drive the point home that this is a disclaimer right off the bat that I am not a licensed, credentialed medical professional, and that all of the information I'll be sharing in prior videos and in today's video is purely based on my personal journey on Semaglutide 0.25. So let's jump right in. So what should you be focused on in week 3? There are 3 main things that I really want to hit on. Number 1 is really monitoring your side effects and really tracking your weight loss, and I'll share with you what mine is. Number 2 is really focused on meal planning and some key successes. I'm going to actually share with you some things that my doctor told me about in terms of eating and how that is a benefit to me. And then lastly, in week 3, you should really begin to think about what's next for you. What really is next for you. And I'll talk to you more about that. So last week, I talked about the fact that I was having sleep deprivation and that I was feeling a little lethargic, and that taking B12 shots was something I was going to try to see if that was going to help. Well, I'm proud to report that it has really helped with me feeling a lull in my energy, and it has really helped me with regaining some of my sleep patterns back. So I'm really super excited about the B12. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to week 2, where I actually show you the B12 needle and talk to you all about how I was going to use B12 in addition to what I just said. The second side effect that I had in week 2 was I also had constipation. And I introduced the fiber into my diet, which is what my medical assistant suggested. And that's exactly what I did. And so no more of the constipation. Yay, yay, yay. The only thing that happened this week for me was, because I am doing the B12 shots more often than the semaglutide. So the semaglutide I do, as I mentioned before, every week on a Tuesday. The B12 shots I do every 3 to 4 days in my upper right thigh. And so I was constantly, going to that same injection site, and I noticed that I started to bruise a little bit, and it was kind of scary, and it was a little bit lumpy. One is because I don't think I was doing it right. I'm just the kind of girl that's like, I stab myself and then I get in the car, right? Or I'm going someplace. Not what you want to do, right? You want to make sure that you're administering these needles to yourself and taking care of yourself by doing it the right way. So after some research, some of the things that I'm going to begin to try is icing the injection site before I do the needle, to make sure that it helps. It does help allegedly by shrinking the capillary blood vessels underneath my skin to reduce bruising. Another thing that I read about was that you should inject the needle at a 90-degree angle. So I have tried that once, so we'll see if that works. And then I did show you the B12 needle last week, which I know was a little bit scary because that needle does look crazy. It looks really, really crazy. Each time I look at it, I'm like, am I really going to do this to myself? But they actually recommend that you use the larger needle. Remember, I showed you the smaller needle. Use the larger needle because that lessens the chance of bruising. So that's a little bit about the side effects that I had, the side effects that I'm having. And now I want to tell you a little bit about my weight loss thus far. So I mentioned to you that in week 1, I lost 4 pounds. In week 2, I lost 3 pounds. And now in week 3, I lost 2 pounds. So it's a total of 9 pounds over the course of 3 weeks. I am super excited about my progress because there's some things that I'm still eating that I probably shouldn't, or drinking, I should say, that I probably shouldn't be drinking. And we're going to get into that. And I'm going to share and be transparent with you about what I'm doing versus what my doctor told me to do and some of the things that I'm still struggling with. But that's my weight loss thus far. So in week 3, you should be monitoring your side effects, and then you should have a grasp on how much weight you are losing. I weigh myself weekly. I am not going to be the maniacal person waking up every day and jumping on a scale. That's too much pressure. So I wait until Tuesday morning before I take my next shot, right first thing in the morning with no clothes on, and I weigh myself. So that's a little bit about that. If you like what you're hearing, please hit the like button. That lets me know that you like what I'm sharing, as well as helps get the word out about my vlog and just some truths that I'm sharing that some other influencers might not be sharing. Moving on, the other thing I want to talk to you about and that you should focus on in week 3, and don't tune me out. Don't go Charlie Brown, want on me. It's really important to make sure, wait for it, y'all, that you are planning your meals. It is so important. So at the beginning of the week, typically what I do is I think about 2 or 3 main proteins that I'm going to have for the week. I don't eat beef, pork, or crustaceans. I do eat fish. I do eat turkey. I do a lot of tofu and alternate meat products, but not things that are too chemical, because then why bother, right? But I say all this to say is that thinking ahead whenever your week begins and planning your meals is going to be so important. So thinking about the proteins that you're going to eat for the week. I'm going to talk to you about some keys that my doctor gave me about carbs, which should be pretty minimal. But what carbs are you going to alleviate? For example, I'll share with you that I love bread, love bread, but I don't buy bread. I can't keep it in my house. I won't keep it in my house. So at Trader Joe's, which is where I do 90% of my shopping, they have these cauliflower slims that substitute for bread, and they're really cool. Put your patty in between. That's awesome. I typically will put hummus on it and eat that. I love smoked salmon, so in the morning I'll slap smoked salmon on one of these bad boys, keep it moving. Very easy to grab and snack, but I'm already prepared with this. And things like this to substitute the carbs, because I know carbs is one of my weakness, right? What veggies are you going to eat? Think about this. What also are you going to continue to eat so that you don't go from 0 to 100? Meaning you used to eat fast food, you used to do all these other things, and that overnight you're going to maybe stop doing all those things. I believe in the power of the mind, and I do believe that we could cut out and just go cold turkey and go, I'm not doing that anymore. But quite frankly, because behaviorally we've been doing those things for so long, it's going to take a minute to unravel some of those behaviors, right? Some of those things that we've been doing psychosomatically, behaviorally, all those things. So it's a gradual shift. So allow yourself some space to still enjoy some of the things that you like, but it has to be in perspective. And again, when I share with you the keys to success that my doctor gave me, hopefully they'll help you to kind of think about that as well. So it's going to be important that you meal plan. I'm actually thinking about a meal planning service when I go back home in a week or two. And I'm going to try it to see what that's like. So we'll talk to you more about that in a little bit. Again, please hit the like button, consider subscribing, and become part of our family, and comment in the comment field. There's a couple of people now who are commenting every week, and I love just hearing about their journey. I want to hear more about yours. Let's continue on. So let me share with you, and I can't put a link to this, I'm sorry, because it's copyrighted, but I'm going to read to you some of the keys that my doctor gave me about eating. So if you don't have a pen or you're running around in your house, I want you to stop for 5 minutes and write this down, or be sure to go back to this part of the video. So some of the keys to success that my doctor shared with me are really, really simple and doable. Number one, she shared that protein with every meal is going to be key. Protein helps fill us up longer, which alleviates snacking. So she recommends protein with every meal. And that doesn't mean meat. It could be plain Greek yogurt, lentils, black beans, chickpeas, eggs, cheese. But you can also go right into eating meat, chicken, lean beef, those kinds of things. And she recommends no more than 100 milligrams of protein per day. That's pretty hearty though, and I think that's totally doable. She recommends eating 5 to 10 vegetables a day and eating a half cup serving when you have those vegetables. So cucumbers, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots. The brighter the color, the better. I talked to you before, and you're going to hear me say this over and over, and you're going to hear me say it even after I end this series talking about my journey with Ozempic, that drinking water is the key. You should be drinking at least half of your body weight in water each day. I know it seems like a lot, but it actually isn't when you really get going and you're diligent about the importance of cleaning your body out. And relieving your body of those toxins, and really just thinking about it from that perspective. Here's my water right here. I've got actually put a piece of lavender in it today, and then I have some ginger at the bottom. And I like these cups because any cups really, it doesn't have to be this brand, but this is 20 ounces. And I know that if I drink 5 of these a day, I've met my goal, or the minimum of 4, then I know that I've met my quota and I don't have to run around measuring. So find a cup that helps you measure and manage how much water intake you're doing. She mentions to avoid grains. And I was like, well, I gotta have some grains. But what she's talking about, white bread, white flour, white pasta, crackers, tacos, tortillas, wraps, pizza, popcorn, all those things. The recommended grains that she recommends is a half cup oatmeal, half cup of brown rice, or a half cup of quinoa. Quinoa is how you spell quinoa. And look it up. It's amazing. I love it. But she does recommend having only one half cup serving of that a day, which is doable because I'm going to show you what I eat. Some samples of what I eat in just a second. She recommends that if you're going to eat fruit, I don't like fruit, so that's an easy one, but to always eat it with protein. Again, trying to really fill up your belly with things that are going to alleviate further snacking. Sometimes I know that people will eat an apple, or if I've eaten an apple, or when I do, which is very rare. Sometimes you go, well, what's next, right? But having a piece of cheese or having a pieces of meat. What I do is I usually have deli meat. And then I usually will have, with my almonds, I'll have a piece of deli meat. With this cauliflower slim, I'll have a piece of deli meat. So something that's always keeping protein in my body. And then the last thing I wanted to share with you is that if you're going to eat 3 meals a day, that you should have no more than 1,600 calories. And we're talking about good foods that are going to fuel your body, because you still could have 1,600 calories. And trust me, I have done it, where it's cookies and candies and all these silly things that are not helping you on your weight loss journey. And it's also not helping your body. So just really think about these things that I'm sharing. Again, play this back if you want to write down what she said to me. Okay. So hopefully this has helped. One of the things that I wanted to share with you before we wrap is there's 2 more points I want to make. One, I just want to show you some of the things that I eat. Now, I am not a food blogger. This is not the TV Food Network, so no shade on my pictures, but I think some of them are really good. The first one looks a little weird, but hang with me, right? So this is my breakfast. I have veggie bacon by Morningstar and some hummus. I took a pita bread, and I sliced it in quarters, and then I just took that 1 quarter, opened the quarter up, and then put a slab of some veggie cream cheese. Second is my bomb diggity famous scrambled tofu that is off the chain. If you want the recipe, go to the comment section, and what I'll do is I'll put it there, but I'm not going to spend time doing all that because this is not a food blog. This is also a picture of, I told you, I love my cafe mochas. I'm in the Southwest. I'm sampling some Southwest spicy mochas. I mean, I'm having a good time with these mochas, but they are highly caloric. and filled with a lot of carbohydrates. I know this. This is the reason why when I show you my dinner, you'll see that there's a balance, right? I'm choosing to get my carbs, which I know may be controversial, through my mochas right now, right? I'll make that adjustment when I'm back home and not sort of in this vacation mode. But here's a cafe mocha, but also notice that I coupled it with a creamy cashew, vanilla bean, organic yogurt from Trader Joe's. There's some blackberries and almonds. Almonds is my go-to snack. You'll see here I've got more almonds. One day I just had some almonds, and then I had that water cup that I've been carrying around. And I usually try to alkalize my water. And so usually I will put lemon and lime. I'll have blueberries. I'll have strawberries. I'll put all the things that are either alkalizing my water or bringing antioxidants into my water to make my water more interesting to drink and look at, quite frankly, but also, again, things that are helping my body. This is my dinner we actually made. Remember, I talked to you about, well, what meat could maybe I buy and then use it over the next couple of days and just prepare it different ways. So maybe if I buy a piece of chicken or a piece of turkey, I can maybe prepare it, or, at the beginning of the week with just some standard seasoning like salt, pepper, onion, and garlic. And then each day I can take that 4-seasoned piece of meat or protein or whatever it is, that protein, and then I can repurpose it. And one day maybe I'll add salsa to it, or one day I might add jerk seasoning, or one day I might add my favorite lemon sauce and maybe make it more Southwestern by adding some taco seasoning. I don't know, but that's kind of what I'm showing you here. We had a cod that we actually had. I had some spinach, which is my go-to a vegetable, as well as 2 fingerling potatoes. I took the same cod the next day, and my sister made some bomb-ass turkey summer soup, and I just integrated those spinach, some more spinach, and that was just the bomb. Here's that turkey soup again, but this time I added some corn chips. I love corn chips. I love salt. It's just my weakness. And I did have about 15 corn chips. I'm not going to lie. After that, I took a picture of this. I added some more. So that was the turkey soup with the corn chips. And then I just wanted to show you, and I know this does not do this meal any justice. This was that bok choy that I had with the sea bass for Mother's Day that was out of this world. So that's a little bit about some of the things that I eat. If you want to know anything more, please put some questions in the chat. I'm happy to share. Before we go, I got one more thing I want to go over with you, and that is, what is your next step? When you're in week 3, you should be thinking about, I'm heading to week 4. I'm going to be going back to my doctor or whomever. What is my next step? Am I going to stay at this dose, or should I go up? And I want to talk to you about some considerations that you should be thinking about before you make that decision. So if you like what you're hearing, once again, please hit the like button, hit the notify button as well. This is the 3rd part of a 4-part series. So I'm doing these videos weekly. After the week 4 video, I am going to conclude this series, and then I'll only be sharing monthly about my journey as I head towards my 20 to 25 pound weight loss goals. So do stay with me. Don't want to lose you, because if you look at my channel, there's other great things that I'm talking about to help you personally improve your life and just be a better person and feel good about who you are and the things that you do. So some considerations in week 3 for dosage, or what the next steps are, is I really want you, it goes back to what I said before, what side effects have you been having and how severe have they been? So I'm at 0.25. I can go to 0.50. I do also believe I can skip and go to 1.0, but I am thinking about, now that my body has sort of stabilized from the alleviation of constipation and the sleep deprivation, do I really want to do that? The answer is probably, for me, going to be yes, but I don't know if I'm going to skip. So I am thinking about that. I am also thinking about the fact that I'm going to eat less. I'm going to have to eat less. So I showed you some of the things that I eat for dinner and some of the other, particularly at night. I may have to cut those portions in half, because remember, this weight loss medication mimics a naturally occurring hormone in your body, telling your brain that it's full. So now I'm going to eat less. And so how is that going to affect me psychosomatically? Just something I'm thinking about. It may not be a big deal. So I'll let you know next week what all happened. So next week, I'm going to talk to you about what dosage I landed on, whether I stayed or whether I went up a dose. I'm going to talk to you about meal planning and what did I ended up doing? Did I ended up going with a meal planning company? And if so, which one and why? I'm going to share with you updated pictures about, kind of taking a look at before and after. So that's going to be fun. And then I want to talk to you about keys to sustainability beyond that first month, beyond week 4, and just my thoughts about that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for hanging with me. I want you to answer the question in the chat. Do you agree with that opening quote? It is health that is the real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver. I do, but I want to know what you think or anything else that's on your mind in the comments section. So until next time, take care. God bless. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notify button. Want to see you stay in the family and stay with us as we go up and onward with not only this journey, but the others that we'll be talking about in terms of self-improvement and life.